From Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
On News Hour tonight, APC governors visit President Buhari in Daura, praise Tinubu Shettima ticket. NDLEA arrests one of the wanted terror suspects who escaped from Kuje custodial facility. Twitter stock falls after Musk abandons takeover plan. And on the foreign scene, death toll rises to 24 in Russian rocket strike on Ukraine apartment building. Hello and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV tonight. I am Eugenia Abu. Eid Mubarak. We begin with politics. Despite the intense controversy generated by the same faith ticket produced by the All Progressives Congress for next year's elections, governors of the party are confident they have good grounds to campaign, and this was led by the chairman of the Progressives Governors Forum, Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State, and he gave assurances on Monday. The governors met President Muhammadu Buhari over lunch at his country home in Daura. Kainde Amodu now reports.
Presidential flag bearer of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, picked former Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima as his running mate on Sunday, and now has a fight on his hands to convince Nigerians that his choice is in their interest. It will take some convincing, but governors on the platform of the APC have enlisted to sell the ticket.
We have had a successful national convention which has produced in a very, very transparent manner a presidential flag bearer as Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And we note that yesterday he was here for the Salah homage at an occasion which he also used to name the vice presidential nominee in the person of Senator Kashim Shettima. We congratulate you and we congratulate our party. Mr. President, the members of this forum would like to assure you that we will work very, very hard to ensure the success of our party.
And they believe, based on the legacies laid by President Muhammadu Buhari, the task has been made easier.
We are confident that as we go around Nigeria to campaign for our party under your leadership, we believe Nigerians will trust us and Nigerians will appreciate that, even where the outcomes are less than what we had hoped, that we have done well.
But President Buhari is not concerned merely about the campaign. One of the things he's very worried about is the generational consequences of the prolonged strike of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, on families, the educational system, and the future development of the country.
The institutions we have, like ASU, will sympathize with the country and the people. There's nothing wrong with showing the government and the leadership that you don't like what they are doing. But enough is enough. Don't hurt the next generation, for goodness sake. So those of you who have friends that are teachers and influential or even not influential, please persuade them to go back to classes.
The president is already waxing whimsical about returning to Daura next year. He says he's eager to go, admits it has been tough, and wishes the person coming after him the very best. Kainde Amodu, Trust TV News.
The nomination of former Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima has continued to dominate discussions amongst different groups in the country over 24 hours after the announcement. On the streets of Abuja, Nigerians remain religiously divided on the issue, as Luka Musa Luka now reports.
The announcement of the ex-Borno governor ended speculations on the rumored same fate running mate that APC flag bearer Bola Tinubu was favorably disposed to. It became public knowledge at an interaction session with reporters during the visit to President Buhari in Daura, Katsina State on Sunday by Tinubu and other leaders of the party. In a country where religion plays a major role in the life of an average citizen, the uproar that has followed the announcement of Shettima was not unexpected.
I have nothing much to say about it, but to say both of them should rest with politics. Tomorrow is for young people. They should draw younger people, people that have blood in their system, people that can run up and down for Nigeria. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're asking for. They are our parents, so they should hear what we're saying. It is time for the youths to do something. So Kashim Shettima and Tinubu, mashallah, you fit each other, but then you guys should rethink that. Bring someone else. As a matter of fact, this is Muslim ticket. Muslim ticket, the way I'm seeing it, seriously, it's not gonna work. Especially the youth. The youth, what the youth need this time around, these people, they are old. These people are very, very old, you know. What we need now is to get a vibrant youth, at least from 60 years, or less from 40 to 60.
There's nothing bad in it. We have to, at least in our, as a country, as in Nigeria, that is, you have to come to a times, understand that where you come from, the area that you belong, your sex, your age doesn't matter, but the competency. Are you getting me now? So, Tinubu picking Shettima, we should not talk it like say it's something that is outrageous or is against one ethnic background or not.
Tinubu picking Shettima as a running mate is not a bad idea, but you know, it's high time Nigerians need to wake up to it's time that we look up to competency, not religion, tribe, nor any other ethnics. Let's look at the competency. Are these people competent to be our leader? Are they competent to make Nigeria a great nation? I think that is the right time we need to wake up and at least view that, yes, making it a better option.
Despite the division, many are hopeful that the country remains an indivisible nation after the 2023 election have been won and lost.
And still staying with the last story, the selection of former Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima as running mate of the candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has continued to dominate discourse in the northeast zone of the country. Adamu Imam reports that the zone is awash with both people opposing and supporting the choice of the ex-governor on various grounds. Here's that report.
In Bauchi State, residents are not left out of the news that has dominated both official and unofficial commentaries, as they took side or disagree with the APC's choice of running mate. In my own opinion, he is not the best choice, because he failed his people when he was a governor. Now that he has been selected as running mate, he will be far away from his people. In fact, he is not fit for that position.
Religion is the one bringing all this problem. But if we take ourselves together to be one, then everybody will understand that. But Nigeria doesn't understand that.
What Nigeria is supposed to do that, and these people are supposed to do for how many years, more than 60 years, Igbo man have not. Let's keep sentiment apart, but let's move on. All Nigerians do not follow parties. Do not follow parties. Let's vote someone that is going to assist them. People are suffering.
At the core of the discussion is the religious affiliations of both candidates. However, some are quick to dismiss this on the basis of competence, which they say should not be traded for religious learning. We need competent people to lead us to greater height. The choice of Shettima as running mate is a good one, and we pray that they will win the 2023 presidential election. If they eventually wins the election, we want them to bring the needed change for Nigerians. They are very good candidates, but let them tell Nigerians their plans for the country. I know Kashim Shettima. He is a very good man and a man of his word. They can do better together. We are going to help them win. Our votes are for them wholeheartedly. As the furore over Shettima's emergence continues, politicians say the best way to express approval or not of his candidature is in casting vote in the presidential election of 2023. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
In the meantime, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has described the choice of Senator Kashim Shettima as the running mate of the presidential candidate of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as a wise decision. Gbajabiamila expressed delight that Tinubu settled for one of the best hands for the job of Nigeria's vice president. A statement by the special advisor on media and publicity to the Speaker, Lanre Lasisi, said Shettima has over the years proved his mettle as a progressive politician whose 8 years as governor of Borno State was a defining moment for the state. As a foremost banker, Gbajabiamila said Shettima has the right character and the intellectual capacity to turn things around. Hence, having him as the vice president under a Tinubu presidency will be a masterstroke in the management of the economy. The Speaker called on Nigerians to support the Tinubu-Shettima ticket and other APC candidates for various elective offices during the 2023 elections. Following the nomination of former Borno Governor Kashim Shettima as running mate to APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu and the mixed reaction generated, especially in the area of his religious standing, Trust TV's Nana Mohammed gives us an up-close and personal look at the man Kashim Shettima.
Senator Kashim Shettima was born in Maiduguri, Borno State on 2nd September 1966 to the family of Sir Kashim Ibrahim. Senator Kashim attended Lamisla Primary School in Maiduguri from 1972 to 1978, Government Community Secondary School Biu in southern parts of Borno State from 1978 to 1980. Transferred to Government Science Secondary School Potiskum, now in neighboring Yobe State, where he completed his secondary education in 1983. He studied at the University of Maiduguri and earned a degree in agricultural economics in 1989. He obtained a master's degree in agricultural economics in 1991 at the University of Ibadan in southwest Nigeria. Shettima joined the University of Maiduguri as a lecturer with the Department of Agricultural Economics and was in the academia from 1991 to 1993. In 1993, he moved into the banking sector. In 2007, Kashim was appointed as the Commissioner for Finance in Borno State. He later contested the governorship in 2011, which he won under the platform of the now defunct All Nigerian People's Party (ANPP). He won the re-election in 2015 under the All Progressives Congress (APC) and was chosen as chairman of the Northern States Governors Forum, an umbrella body of governors in the 19 states located in northern Nigeria. In February 2019, he became the winner of the Borno Central Senatorial District election, thereby replacing Senator Baba Kaka Bashir. Senator Shettima is a current serving senator under the platform of APC. Nan Muhammad, Trust TV News, Abuja.
In other news, the governorship candidate of the Labour Party in Osun State, Yusuf Lasson, says a group of gun-wielding men have attacked his residence at Okeima area of Ilobu in Irekpodun local government area of the state. Lasson, who is a former deputy speaker of the House of Representatives, confirmed the attack while briefing reporters on Monday, hours after the incident was reported to have taken place. He explained that the assailants invaded his house very early in the morning and began to shoot sporadically, adding that he believes the attackers came with the intention of harming him. According to him, a team of police operatives drafted to his house has since inspected the scene and taken custody of evidence.
Yesterday, and I arrived at my house at about 11:30 p.m. and I called for my running mate for a short meeting. So he was remaining with another of my kids. My running mate. Then another hit of mine, Mustafa Mutin. At about that time, I just opened my eyes. I had a gunshot and I saw a blistering light in my bedroom. I knew it was gunshot. At that point, I had to lie low. After like 30 seconds, I raised my head up to view my compound from the window of my room. And I discovered that my police are already outside. And that gave me some sort of confidence because they came out of where they were and they were already outside, fully prepared, and they were trying to repel them.
The National Peace Committee, NPC, has said appropriate measures should be implemented to ensure that vote buying does not occur during the July 16th governorship election in Osun State. Chairman of the committee and former head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, in a statement in Abuja, urged the people of Osun State to come out en masse and exercise their right to vote without fear of violence, adding that signing of the peace pact by political parties and other stakeholders will take place on July the 13th. He was quoted as saying, "We particularly urge that appropriate procedures are implemented to ensure the unhealthy and seemingly pervasive practice of voter inducement, commonly called vote buying, that this does not happen. The law in all its capacity and requirements should be applied to those involved in such a criminal act, both the buyer and the seller." The Asiwaju Muslumi of Yoruba land, Chief Kamis Olatunde Badmus, has cautioned against religious sentiments and other divisive tendencies ahead of the 2023 general elections in the country. Olatunde Badmus said the choice of the former Borno State Governor Kashim Ibrahim Shettima as running mate to the presidential candidate of All Progressive Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, is not a barrier. Speaking with Trust TV's Hamid Oyegbade in Oshogbo, Olatunde Badmus said competence and capability to lead the nation should be the focus rather than religious sentiment.
His wife is Christian, all the children are Christian. Then go and look at the companies that Tinubu has shares in. You can never see any one of them manned by a Muslim. Go to TBC, go to The Nation, go to everywhere. Did you see anywhere? So, and tell me where, because I belong, so I can call all the Muslim groups now, they know me. Tell me anywhere Muslim Tinubu can say, I belong to this society, or tell me the mosque. You must have I have a mosque. Everybody, you have your own church. You go to your own church. Tell me where is Tinubu. Tell me his own. Huh? So, the Christian are already taking him away from us. He's just a Muslim by name.
Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have arrested one of the wanted terror suspects who escaped from the Medium Security Correctional Center, Kuje, in Abuja, following an attack on the facility by terrorists. The Director of Media and Advocacy of the NDLEA, Femi Babafemi, who confirmed this in a statement on Monday, identified the suspect as Suleiman Sidi from Borno State. Although the pictures are the same, the Nigerian Correctional Service had, while declaring the suspect alongside 68 others wanted, identified him as Suleiman Idi. Suleiman's arrest came 3 days after another suspected terrorist who fled the correctional facility, Hassan Hassan, was recaptured in Nasarawa State. Similarly, police in Niger State have announced a recapture of one of the escaped inmates from the Kuje Correctional Facility. The Niger State Police Command's Public Relations Officer, DSP Wasiu Abiodun, said in a statement on Monday that the escapee, Kazim Murtala, was arrested on Saturday in a compound in Suleja, Niger State. Abiodun said the inmate confessed during interrogation that he escaped from the Kuje Custodial Center during the attack, where he was serving a jail term for the past 2 years, after conviction for an offense he committed. He said the inmate has been transferred to the custodial center on the orders of the Commissioner of Police, Niger State, Monday Bala Kurias. 7 recently released victims of the Kaduna train attack have been reunited with their families. They regained freedom after spending 103 days in captivity. Their release from captivity comes 25 days after the first batch of 11 victims were freed. Tukur Mamu, the media aide to Islamic scholar Sheikh Ahmed Gumi, says this was facilitated by his principal with the release of the 7 persons About 43 others are still in captivity, including an 85-year-old grandmother.
First and foremost,
you're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, how religious sacrifice impacts the economy. Do stay with us.
My people, how do you feel when you see bulldozers demolish beautiful but illegally built private houses, estates, or plazas? Agony and pain. That is exactly what the FCT administration feels also. No responsible government is happy to inflict pain on her people by demolishing any property. Are you planning to acquire a piece of land? Avoid buying land from indigents or local chiefs or any other unauthorized source, as doing so could ruin your valuable investment. Only the Minister of FCT allocates land in Abuja. So, to acquire a piece of land in Abuja, go to the Abuja Geographic Information Systems, popularly known as AGIS, and obtain the relevant application form. Also, visit the FCDA Mass Housing Department to check the genuineness of land title before you acquire any property in any of the housing estates in Abuja. Do the right thing. Don't be a victim. This message is from the Federal Capital Territory Administration.
Nigerians, elections are here again. Let us shun violence. Let us play the game according to the rules. Do not be a thug. Say no to violence. Let's rise and defeat violence, crime, and sabotage against the peace of our nation. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must do everything to keep it united. We must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration. Say no to separatist movement, terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation. Watch out for strange gatherings and suspicious movements. Restrict access to sensitive documents and data, the disclosure of which may damage national security. Educate your staff and family, particularly on measures to safeguard information and report security breaches. Apply relevant legal security guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors. Due to misinformation and wrong choices, some idle persons resort to vices in their greed to get rich quick. They resort to kidnapping, killings for rituals, and other heinous crimes. Avoid wrong use of the social media. Before you broadcast that false message, think twice. Ask whether it will promote peace or violence. For safety at home, still be security conscious. Educate your household on safety tips. Report all suspicious movements and persons to the security agencies nearest to you. Be a good citizen. Be patriotic. To pass security information, please call 0813-222-2105, 0915-339-1309, 0908-837-3514, or send a mail to dsspr@dss.gov.ng. This message is from the Department of State Services, DSS.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is News Hour on Trust TV. A recap of our top stories. APC governors visit President Buhari in Daura, praise Tinubu Shettima ticket. NDLEA arrests one of the wanted terror suspects who escaped from Kuje custodial facility. Moving to more news now. The need to support the advancement of peace in the Northeast to ensure development of the region has again been emphasized. As part of activities to mark this year's Eid al-Kabir celebration, stakeholders organized a peace-building lecture for youth and women from the region. From Yola, Salis Lawan reports.
The event had in attendance Muslim and Christian youths. Leaders from the region, in separate presentations, admonished the youths to reflect on the significance of peace and the sacrificial aspect of Eid al-Kabir, noting no reasonable development can be achieved in the absence of peace.
Peace building, if we look at our situation today in this country and beyond, actually we need to preach peace, we need to advocate for peace, we need to talk for peace, and we need to work for peace. Because if peace reigns, then everything will be okay. Our institutions, like political institutions, like organizational institutions, like whatever institution, including religion institutions, actually will work well.
Community prosper, no society prosper without peace. And for you to prosper, you need peace. Once there is peace, there is security. Once there is peace, there is prosperity in the country.
Participants at the peace-building lecture, who are mostly youth, welcomed the idea behind the lecture.
People who are in the hospital crying for help, he supports them financially, spiritually, and any other thing that is within his capacity.
I'm here to celebrate our Salah with Muslim and Christians. We are happy to meet all of us here.
Amira Mohammed is the facilitator of the event.
We are hoping for peace and unity. You know, peace is very, very important in our society. So we hope and pray for peace and unity to both Muslim and Christian.
Eid al-Adha is the second and biggest of the two holidays celebrated in Islam and honors the willingness of Prophet Ibrahim to sacrifice his son Ismail as an act of obedience to Allah's command. From Yola, Salis Lawan, Trust TV News.
The Kwara State Governor, Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, has again assured of his administration's readiness to collaborate with the traditional institution to develop culture and tourism in the state. The governor gave the assurance while receiving the Emir of Ilorin, Ibrahim Sulu Gambari, who paid him a Salah homage in Government House Ilorin. He added that the need to improve the relationship with traditional institutions will be given priority attention as the ongoing hub project will improve the culture and tourism of the state. The Emir of Ilorin, Ibrahim Sulu Gambari, prayed for continued success of the government, adding that his achievements so far have prepared him for higher assignments in the future.
Institutionalize the Durbar and other festivals by making them important items in our budgetary provision. This will get better in the coming years as we ramp up our investments in culture and tourism. Our Visual Arts Center and International Conference Center will play prominent roles in promoting culture and tourism in Kwara State. In the future, we look forward to bringing the world's oldest manuscripts of the Quran and other historic relics for exhibition at the Visual Arts Center.
Great pleasure and happiness to be here this afternoon to do what our forebears have been doing and to wish my people of the Emirates the greatest happiness in the world. His Excellency has shown that he wants to work.
As Muslims around the globe celebrate Eid al-Kabir, which teaches and reminds Muslim faithful of the meaning of sacrifice, love, and forbearance with God, Muslim clerics have emphasized the need to assist the less privileged in the society. Here's that report.
At the Eid prayers, some Islamic clerics in their sermons call on faithful to assist those in need to give them a sense of belonging.
Today, the 10th of Zulhijjah is the day of Eid, Eid al-Adha, as we all know, Eid al-Kabir, one of important days in the Islamic calendar. We know the importance of these days.
I'm here to celebrate with all Muslim Ummah and wishing you a happy Eid al-Kabir. And I'm wish to see another year in advance.
Some of the orphans who benefited from the gesture share their experiences.
Alhaji Lawa Atana start providing clothes for us, shelters and foods, and more things to provide of our health. And they take care of our health if we are sick, and they provide clothes for us.
A group in Lagos also supported orphans with food and drinks, and also celebrated the Salah with them at Oniwaya Mosque in Agege.
Sacrifice, good cheer for the less privileged. In the meantime, Nigerian pilgrims for this year's Hajj in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia have lamented the absence of local dishes in the meal served at Munna. They also complained about the late and substandard meals served at Munna and Medina. According to them, some of the meals are not healthy for consumption. The pilgrims made these complaints during visitation of the National Hajj Commission NACON board. The chairman, Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, Senator Muhammad Adamu Kachawa, and Nigerian ambassador to Saudi Arabia, Ambassador Yahya Lawan, among others. As part of this year's Salah celebration, hundreds of horse riders in Jigawa have held a street display to mark the annual Durbar Festival. From the state capital, Dutse, Trust TV's Idris Jibril reports that the Durbar symbolizes peace, unity, and a sustainable relationship between the people, the government, and the traditional institutions. That report.
Firing of Dane guns by the Emir's Royal Guard heralds the arrival of the Emir of Dutse, Alhaji Nuhu Muhammad, his district heads, and other traditional title holders. It is called Hawan Gomnati, a traditional Durbar entertainment, a presentation of tradition and cultures based in Dutse. In Hawan Gomnati, the Emir marched out his troops from the palace to the streets of Dutse to receive homage from the people, and thereafter to the state government house, where the Emir pays homage to the governor. There is no doubt that Nigeria is in a state of insecurity. And here in Dutse, we have been telling people to watch over their neighbors, to make sure that they protect each other. Your Excellency, I want to extend our gratitude for you and all other security agencies who have been playing significant role in ensuring the protection of lives and property here in Dutse and Jigawa State in general. We want to assure you that the Emirate will continue to cooperate with you in ensuring adequate protection of lives and property of our people.
Mai girma gwamna yana farin ciki da wannan al'amari kuma yana ya umarce ni da jaddada godiyarsa ga mai martaba sarki bisa irin gudunmawa.
Your Highness, we are fully aware on the immense contribution of the Emirates, the good advices you are giving us on how to manage the state and how to move the state forward. His Excellency is highly grateful, and I can assure you that this administration will continue to do its best in protecting the lives and property of the people here in Dutse and Jigawa State in general.
Duk da cewa Allah cikin ikonsa da rahamarsa ya ba mu tsaro da zaman lafiya a wannan jiha.
For the people of Dutse Emirate, the Durbar is significant for obvious reasons. First, it re-emphasizes the significance of their culture and tradition. It is also an opportunity to meet with their emir and other traditional title holders in the kingdom. Hawan Gomnati is only a segment of the Durbars as the celebration continues. So the Durbar in Dutse. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Dutse.
splendor at the Eid celebrations. Aside the 2 Rakat prayers, one of the high points of Eid al-Kabir is the sacrifice of animals by the Muslim faithful. Beyond the fulfillment of that religious obligation of eating and sharing of meat is the increased production of hides and skin for local and international leather industries. Abdullahi Yamadi takes a look at hides and skin industry and how it is affected by the economic downturn. Here is his report.
The hides and skin business hitherto contributed a large percentage of Nigeria's gross domestic product, GDP. The industry continued to thrive until the beginning of the exploration of oil, and then, for some reasons, the global prices of hides and skin started to decline. Despite the declining fortunes of the sector, it remains the primary ingredient used by the leather industry in Nigeria and around the world in the production of bags, shoes, belts, and other accessories. Our major concern is lack of enough capital. The foreign merchants manipulate the business because they have money more than the local dealers. The insecurity situation is affecting the business. The reason is that people have insignificant number of animals due to activities of bandits who wrestle the animals. It is globally accepted that huge tons of hides and skin are produced during the annual sacrifices of the Eid al-Kabir. The product is not only used locally, but makes its way as far as Lebanon, China, and across Europe. This is why it is puzzling that the price of hides and skin has continued to depreciate over time. Indeed, foreign merchants have manipulated and took over the business. This monopoly in hides and skin industry is not helping local dealers. Look at this scenario. The foreign merchants determine the price. Gainers and losers in the business. In spite of numerous challenges, the hides and skin sector remains one of the biggest employers of labor. One of those challenges is the manner in which foreign merchants have hijacked the entire value chain of the industry and can cut away the products at a giveaway prices. With local dealers unprotected against that practices of these merchants, many are often left struggling with lots of debts and eventual bankruptcy. Hundreds of thousands of hides and skin are produced in Katsina State annually, but the major beneficiaries are foreign merchants. Indeed, that may be the reason why stakeholders are calling for government intervention to protect local dealers from manipulative economic practices. This is the only way to save the sector from imminent collapse. Abdullahi Ismail Ahmadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
And still staying with the economy and trade, a section of the popular Bodija market in Ibadan, Oyo State capital, has been gutted by fire. The affected areas are located at Origi, Daleko, Isoelewa, inside the popular market. One of the affected traders, Ganiyu Asimiyu, said the fire came from an unknown source as early as 3 in the morning and burnt down a part of the market. Another affected trader, Isiaka Kafilat, said she lost goods worth about 2 million naira in the incident. The swift intervention of the Oyo State Fire Service was able to stop the fire from spreading to other parts of the market. Authorities have recovered 17 bodies believed to be all the passengers aboard an ill-fated boat that capsized in Lagos. 13 bodies were recovered on Sunday, according to the Inland Waterways Agency, with the other 4 recovered the previous day. The boat had set sail on Friday evening, despite rules that bar night travel, authorities said. Sarat Brahima, the area manager of the Lagos State Waterways Authority, LASWA, said the tide had carried the vessel towards a barge, causing it to overturn. The agency said the captain and 16 passengers, including children, were on board at the time of the crash. The ages of the deceased were not immediately released. In the meantime, the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on Monday ordered a probe into the July 8 Mile 2 Ibeshe boat accident in which lives were lost. In a statement by the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Gbenga Omotosho, Sanwo-Olu said he was deeply saddened by the incident and commiserates with the families who lost their loved ones. The statement said the police have initiated a probe into what went wrong and treating the incident as criminal. It said the boat, which is said to be unlicensed, broke the waterways rules of no night travel and no overloading. While commiserating with the bereaved families, the governor assured that modalities will be put in place to avert a reoccurrence. You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. We'll be back after the break. Stay. Property owners whose buildings were demolished by Osun State government during road construction 9 years ago on Monday morning barricaded the entrance of the Osun State government house in Osogbo, the state capital, to demand their compensation. The aggrieved property owners said the protest became their last resort as the state governor, Adegboyega Oyetola, failed to fulfill his promise to compensate them. Hamid Oyegbade filed in this report.
Over 600 shops and houses located along Old Garage, MDS Market and Fakunle areas in Osogbo, Osun State capital, were demolished by the state government in 2013 to make way for construction. It was during the administration of former Governor Rauf Agberegbesola, who is now the Minister of Interior. Officials of the Ministry of Lands and Physical Planning carried out enumeration and valuation of the affected properties and commenced the process for payment of compensation to the owners of the buildings, but they were not paid till the end of Aregbersola's administration. The incumbent governor, Adegboyega Oyetola, who was Aregbersola's chief of staff, assured those affected that they would be paid, but he is yet to fulfill his promise. Speaking on behalf of others, Alhaja Shola Adefunke said many of the landlords have died while many are sick and need money for treatment. She appealed to the governor to pay them without further delay.
We are here to demand our compensation. Before the demolition, they carried out valuation and promised to pay us, but they didn't. Aregbesola begged us and assured us that he would pay, but he deceived us. When Oyetola became governor, he told us that he would pay our compensation, but he didn't. That's why we are here today.
Another property owner, Mrs. Funke Afolabi, said the businesses of the affected property owners suffer serious setback, adding that they are yet to recover.
We are here today to complain to our government that he should pay our compensation. Since 2013 that they've demolished our shop, we have been waiting long enough that they should pay our money. We heard that they have made payment for Ayetoro to Old Garage, that MDS was excluded, and we want our whole money to be approved before this election, and they should pay our own money.
Similarly, Ahmed Adedogun called on the state government to release their compensation money, as many of them are owed and need help to survive.
In 2013,
The government demolished our shops and houses since 2013. The former governor, Rafiu Aregbesola, promised to pay our compensation, but he didn't. His successor, Governor Yetola, assured us that he will pay the compensation. He signed checks for payment of some people around the areas of Ayetoro and excluded those of us at Old Garage, MDS, and Fakunle Axis. We want the government to pay our compensation without further delay.
The Commissioner for Information in the state and his Works and Transportation counterpart, Remi Omowaye, assured that the compensation will be paid in full and appealed to the affected property owners to be patient with the state government.
We now hand you over to Chamun Dabeng for business news. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited (NNPC's) Group Chief Executive Officer Mele Kyari stated on Sunday that long fuel queues in Abuja and Lagos will disappear in 3 days. He said that the issues were caused by a supply interruption that has since been fixed. Kyari went on to say that NNPC is well aware of the pricing problems and anticipates a normalization of prices for Nigerian consumers.
Yes, first, there's no question around it. Mr. President has exercised his discretion and the right decision to increase the cost of transportation by 10 naira. That means that transporters will be able to take product from any fuel station, from any depot, and take it to the furthest fuel station without any fees. We also acknowledge that there are some pressing logistic challenges, particularly in the marine, and we are resolving those, but particularly so that we are convinced that these prices will normalize very soon.
The domestic runway of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos has finally been closed by the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN. The runway will be closed down so the Category 3 airfield ground lighting system may be installed on runway 18L/36R. Despite opposition from stakeholders who argue that a total shutdown of the runway may result in aircraft delays, the closure was implemented over the weekend. Airline operator Captain Ibrahim Michelia previously expressed concern to the decision to close Lagos domestic runway 18L/36R for 90 days would result in a chaotic atmosphere at the airport that would overwhelm airline operators, air traffic controllers, and other operators in the sector. He went on to say that the current curfew on the runway should not be changed for obvious reasons. He stated that night construction is feasible and will have little or no impact on current traffic flow, airline, or passenger inconveniences. Deploring the over 200% spike in diesel prices, members of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, have urged the federal government to grant them and independent petroleum product marketing firms immediate permission to import diesel from the Republic of Niger and Chad. They urge the government to open border crossings in that access right away in order to mitigate the effects of the supply gap brought on by the high price of diesel. In a statement, MAN's Director General Segun Ajayi Kadiri expressed concern about the effects of the sudden rise in diesel prices of the manufacturing sector, including the exertion of unimaginable hardship on the sector, leading to the closure of many industries, lower capacity utilization, a decline in GDP, widespread unemployment across 76 subsectors, and an increase in crime rates, among other things. He said that the current spike in the price of crude oil and other refined petroleum products like diesel is one of the disruptions brought on by outside shocks that proves how interconnected all economies are because of the recent shortage and over 200% price increase of AGO are responses to Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine. The manufacturers encourage the government to create a national response and sustainability strategy as soon as possible to address issues brought on by Russia's continuous invasion of Ukraine, given the seriousness of the precarious situation. That's all for business news. I am Chamun Dabeng. Thank you, Chamun. And to some international business news now, Twitter's stocks fell Monday after Tesla chief Elon Musk ditched a $44 billion deal to buy the social media giant. The platform's stocks dropped 5.46% on Wall Street to $34.80 after losing 5.10% before the weekend. Musk on Friday pulled the plug on the deal, accusing the company of misleading statements about the number of fake accounts. According to a letter from his lawyers, a copy of which was filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission, Musk's effort to terminate the deal that he inked in April sets the stage for an epic court battle over $1 billion breakup fee. The social network says the number of fake accounts is less than 5%, a figure challenged by the multi-billionaire who believes the number to be much higher. Rescue workers on Monday pulled more bodies and some survivors from an apartment building destroyed by a missile that struck and killed 24 people in eastern Ukraine, while a Russian bombardment killed at least 3 in the second largest city, Kharkiv. The civilian deaths drove home the human cost of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, now in its 5th month, as European capitals braced for more economic consequences, with supplies of Russian gas in question and sanctions on Moscow disrupting trade. In the city of Chaziv Yar, rescuers made voice contact with 2 people in the wreckage of a 5-story apartment building demolished by a rocket on Saturday, while emergency services released video of workers pulling survivors from the concrete debris where up to 24 people had been trapped. Monday's artillery, multiple rocket launcher and tank attack on Kharkiv, further north, injured 31 people, including 2 children, in addition to the 3 deaths, Regional Governor Ole Sinehabov has said. Protesters in Sri Lanka have continued to occupy the official residence of the president in Colombo for the 3rd consecutive day, saying they would not leave until he and the prime minister resign. The aggrieved Sri Lankans stormed the country's capital, Colombo, on Saturday, set the prime minister's residence on fire, and occupied the president's residence. Sri Lanka's president, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, on Saturday told Mahinda Abeyewardena, parliamentary speaker, that he would resign as president by Wednesday this week as a result of the protests. A country of 22 million people has been suffering a horrifying financial turmoil with severe shortage of fuel, medicine, food, and other essentials, and record high inflation and a devaluation of the country's currency. Its total foreign debt amounts to $51 billion, of which it must pay $28 billion by the end of 2027. 7 children aged between 14 and 18 have been killed in a blast at Margba, a village in Tone Prefecture in Savannah, the northernmost Togolese region, which has been under a state of emergency since last June. In a statement, the Togolese army said Sunday's blast also caused injuries to 2 others, but did not give other details. The statement said the youngsters were returning home at night from celebrations of the Muslim holiday Eid al-Adha, adding that investigation has been opened to clarify the circumstances of the explosion and identify the perpetrators. There are concerns among the local population that the blast may be the work of armed groups which are gradually sneaking into the country from neighboring Burkina Faso, which has become the epicenter of conflict in the Sahel. Time now to join Adeni Ajishafe for sports news.
Hammer record holder Annette Echikunwoke has switched allegiance to the United States of America. Echikunwoke, an African record holder with 75.49 meters, was among the 151 athletes named to represent USA on home soil at the World Athletics Championship in Oregon from July 15 to 24, 2022. Annette, alongside 9 other Nigerian medal hopefuls, were unable to compete at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics after they were disqualified by the Athletics Integrity Unit AIU. The disqualification was due to their failure to meet the required 3 out of competition test mandatory for Nigerian athletes at the Games and at World Athletics Series after the classification of the country as a high-risk doping nation in 2020. Echikunwoke had accused the AFN of being negligent, which led to their disqualification from the Olympics, insisting she sent allocations to the AFN 6 times as requested by the Federation. Echikunwoke switched allegiance to her country of birth and residence, USA, and her desire was granted on June 21, 2022, in accordance with Rule 1.42 of World Athletics Eligibility Rule. Annette holds a personal season's best of 73.76 meters, which she threw to place third at the USATF Outdoor Championship held at the Hayward Field, Eugene, Oregon in June. This is Echikunwoke's first participation in the Globals event after missing the Olympics in 2021. And in football, reigning African champions Super Falcons of Nigeria confirmed their passage into the quarterfinal of the 2022 Women's Africa Cup of Nations to take on Cameroon's indomitable Lionesses in the last 8 of the Women's Continental Football Showpiece, following a 4-0 win against Burundi, with Uchenna Kanu scoring a brace. Kanu, who made her first start in the tournament, scored both goals in each halves to hand the Randy Wardrums ladies a big win against the debutants. Super Falcons scored their first goal in the 25th minute after Rashida Ajibade was fouled by Burundi goalkeeper in the 18-yard box. The Atletico Madrid of Spain attacker slotted the ball beyond the reach of Burundi's goalkeeper for Falcons' first goal, while Peace Efra made it 2-0 in the 28th minute. Uchenna Kanu got her name on the scorer sheet in the 29th minute and got her brace seconds after the second half started. The victory ensures that they will face indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon in the quarterfinals. Winner of the 4 quarterfinals match will qualify for 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. Host nation Morocco will face Botswana as Zambia battles Senegal. South Africa will face off against Tunisia, while Super Falcons and indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon will battle it out on Thursday. That's Sport News. I am Adeni Ajishafe.
Sharing news from the Falcons there. We wish them luck in their subsequent matches. And with this, we have come to the end of News Hour on Trust TV tonight. For more news, connect with us across all our social media platforms. I'm Eugenia Abu. We thank you for staying with us.